Kasos. Kasos, cut off by the Greek world for centuries, is literally a speck in the Aegean Sea. Standing on the bounds between the East and the West, teeming with history, art, and memories of her many battles for liberation, Kasos continues to strive for substance and acknowledgement in the cruel reality of today's contemporary world. Despite their harsh and unkind surroundings, the Cassians managed to fashion an exceptional persona and an extraordinary, unique culture. Picturesque complexes of rocks, rocky islands and craggy shoals sprawl around Kasos. One of the most remarkable amongst them is Armafia, located just beyond the north bounds of Kasos, with a peak of 106 meters, the remains of old plaster mines, and the chapel of Ipapande can be seen there. Another is Makra, or Makronissos, or Long Island. Because of its shape, the island was able to provide a storm cellar to ancient ships. Today there are 5 settlements on the island: Free, Agya Marina, Arvanitohori, Poli, and Panigyrya. These compose the borough of Kasos and come under the administration of the sub-prefecture of Karpathos. The capital, Free, is the one and only harbor on the island. Next to it stands the smaller port of Buka, full of traditional fishing boats and sailboats. In Free there is also a public library, a small archaeological gallery, an interesting folklore and culture museum with wonderful exhibits can be found in Arvanitohori. The permanent residents of the island are engaged in agriculture, stock breeding, and fishing, as well as tourism. Cassian agriculture and stock breeding products are of extremely high quality. There are many other interesting sites on Kasos. Aios Spiridonas, a church in Free. Emborios, the original harbor with old stone houses. And the old Church of the Virgin Mary. Elino Camara's cave, where vessels from different eras have been excavated. It was also in these caves that the islanders took refuge when pirates attacked. There is the Salai cave, full of stalactites from ancient times. There is the beautiful Aios Mamas Monastery, with an outlook of the Libyan Sea. Aios Georgios Monastery, which boasts a full-size hospice in the region of Chiadies, toward the eastern end of the island. Below is Hielatros Bay, an ideal spot for bathers. In every single settlement or country site, one finds churches and chapels with pebble-covered floors and fine woodcut temples. The old mansions that once belonged to the sea captains are a sensational sight. The whitewashed houses and the alleys of the more developed areas are tiled with stone. The pastoral residences, called metata, are exceptionally appealing, as they too bear a long-standing ancestry of pastoral life. A good many of them are in excellent condition. As for beachgoers, they have more than a few coasts at their disposal. Kri, Armathia, Agios Konstantinos, and Hielatro are just a few. Local boats make scheduled day trips to these beaches. The exceptional street grid that connects the districts allows easy access for visitors to every site that the island has to offer. One or two Sundays before the festival, the church committee holds a fundraiser to collect money for the event. Volunteers for the different tasks are appointed. For 3 to 4 days before the festival, the committee makes the arrangements for the purchase of the animals, some of which are donated by the shepherds. The rest of the ingredients for the food and the wine are also gathered. On the eve of the festival, the animals are slaughtered, skillfully divided in portions, and sautéed. In the afternoon, the preparation for the meal begins. The potatoes are peeled, the meat for the pilaf is boiled, the bustia and the liver are made ready for the meze dishes, all by enthusiastic men and women from the village. In the early morning, the volunteers start cooking. At 9 o'clock, the Mass begins and the crowd arrives. Following the Mass, the icon is carried out for all to kiss, and the pilgrims offer their donations for the maintenance needs of the church. In the afternoon, the people gather in the parlor and the forecourt of the church to eat and have fun. Some of the volunteer villagers, chosen by the committee, are given aprons to serve the guests, a great honor for those who are chosen. They arrange a chain of service, and the food and drinks, which are free and in abundance, are distributed at a very fast pace. Distinguished musicians from all over the island arrive to entertain the people through the night into the early morning. The merrymaking, singing, and dancing continues until dawn. Susta, Zervos, Sirtos, and Kalamatianos are the most popular folk dances that characterize these feasts. At the same time, lauding or even scoffing mandinara such as pathos, alendi, and voskistikos are floating in the air along with the Cassian melodies. The panegyrists may request any dance they wish and invite the girl of their choice to dance. Long ago, the only opportunity to express any attraction or interest in a girl would be during such merrymaking. Ayos Yorios Monastery in Chadies, located at the southwest end of the island, celebrates Tuesday of the Akanismos on Easter Tuesday in an archaic dialect. On Tuesday, after the icons have been carried about as the custom dictates, people start arriving at the site of Aiorgi. In days gone by, people would be transferred on donkeys and mules. Today, everyone arrives by car. Opening up the road made the transition effortless. The more senior citizens of the island nostalgically reminisce about festivities of long ago that were made more exciting because they had no cars to drive back home and would stay overnight in the hospices. After the vespertine service takes place in the big sala or parlor, food and local drinks are offered to the clergy and the guests that are attending. Goat meat is commonly served. The animals are offered by the local herdsman. Locally grown fried potatoes, pilaf, a type of rice cooked in a unique way, and dolmadakia, a mixture of rice and minced meat wrapped in rolled vine leaves, are also served. After the crowd is sated, the sound of the mandinada can be heard. These are songs with improvised lyrics arranged in a distinctive Cassian melodic context and played on the lyre and the lute. Typically, the songs are about St. George and the pilgrims. Songs are sung to the newlywed couples and to those that have returned from foreign lands after immigrating.
Don't
As the evening progresses, dancing becomes the main entertainment and lasts until dawn. The Metamorphosis of Christ Cathedral is located at the site of Castelli in Lacca. It is the time when many Cassian immigrants return to their island homes for their vacations, so the attendance at this festival is quite large. In the evening, the Vespertine service takes place at the cathedral. The blessing of the holy bread and the kissing of the icon occur during the day of the celebration in the forecourt of the church. Then, treats are served to the pilgrims. Special foods are served on this occasion. There is the so-called macarones, a kind of indigenous pasta served with sitaka, a tasteful local dairy product. Apart from the main dishes, other meze dishes are prepared throughout the merrymaking, like domedakia and liver. Kasos, the Feast of the Panagyria, August the 15th. The Feast of the Panagyria is held in the village of the same name and is the largest event held on the island. A week before the celebration, there is a collection of money which is necessary for the expenses of the feast. The members of the church council go from house to house, and every islander makes a contribution. The preparations begin on August 14th, the day before the feast. The animals are prepared for the feast. These animals are either donated or purchased by the church council. The dolmades are rolled. The vutsia, sausages, are stuffed with liver and rice, and the locale where the feast is held is made ready. The feast takes place in the area surrounding the Church of the Panagyria, where the famous tomb of Agia Kassiane is located. In the evening, there is an esprinos, a church service. Mezedes, or appetizers, are prepared and offered to everyone who has helped with the preparations for the feast. This traditional party, for all of the volunteers, usually lasts until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. The next day, the day of the feast, the cooks and their assistants rise very early to prepare the food. Many people come to this feast. Pilgrims from all of the villages of Kasos, Carpathians from the southern villages of Karpathos, and tourists from as far as Kriki come to pray and have fun. After the service, the holy bread is cut and offered to the pilgrims. The table is set and the food is served. Meat, fried potatoes, dolmadakia, and rice for everyone. Because there are more pilgrims than can be served at one time, several seatings are held to accommodate all. While the pilgrims are enjoying the food, Eglendi is set up, and traditional dancing follows, continuing all through the afternoon and into the night. Panegyri of Stavros, Festival of the Rood. Rise of the Rood Cathedral is situated in Akri, in the area of Aya Marina. On the eve of the festival, the preparations begin and the vespertine takes place in the evening. Unlike the other celebrations, this one does not continue with singing and dancing. The following day the Mass is held along with the blessing of the holy bread and the kissing of the icon outside of the church in the forecourt. Then the offering of food to the pilgrims begins. The Greek Church imposes fasting on that day, so meat is not served. There is a vegetarian version of dolmadakia, paramosalata, fried locally grown potatoes, and Lenten pilaf. The food is followed by the traditional Cassian merrymaking with mandinada and dancing. Not many people attend this festival. It is the last one of the summer, so most of the holiday makers are gone, and the festival carries on in a beautiful and quiet manner. Extraordinary Kasos, with its beautiful coasts and azure waters, a distinctive historical heredity, unrivaled architecture, and kind-hearted, unassuming people, invites you to discover it and experience her ultimate serenity.
Μια πέτρα είναι η Κάσος μας, μια πέτρα είναι. Άιτε σαμανίνα μάνα, μια πέτρα είναι. Μια πέτρα είναι η Κάσος μας, μια πέτρα. Άιτε μια πέτρα είναι η Κάσος μας. Çerika, çerika po garaniti.